Chapter 19 Endurance is designed, not willed. Endurance is often attributed to determination. Systems that survive are described as strong, resilient, or committed. Their longevity is credited to willpower, belief, or perseverance. This explanation is incomplete. Will sustains effort. Design sustains structure. Endurance emerges not from desire to continue, but from configurations capable of carrying load over time. The myth of will-based survival. Will is finite. It draws on attention, motivation, and emotional energy. It can be replenished, but not indefinitely. Systems that rely on willpower to compensate for misalignment exhaust themselves. Survival through will feels heroic. It is unstable. Will mask structural weakness temporarily. It does not correct it. Endurance requires architecture. Design is load distribution. Design determines how load is carried. It defines where stress accumulates, how pressure is absorbed, and which components bear consequence. Well-designed systems distribute load across multiple structures. Poorly designed systems concentrate it. Concentrated load accelerates failure. Distributed load enables endurance. This principle applies across scales: personal, organizational, institutional. Why endurance is often misattributed. Endurance is often misattributed because its mechanisms are invisible. People notice persistence, not configuration. They see effort, not alignment. They attribute survival to character rather than structure. This misattribution prevents replication. Systems attempt to imitate effort rather than redesign structure. The role of redundancy. Redundancy is often viewed as waste. Duplicate processes, overlapping roles, and backup capacity appear inefficient. Optimization efforts target redundancy first. Redundancy enables endurance. It provides alternatives when components fail. It allows systems to reroute function without collapse. It absorbs shock. Systems without redundancy operate efficiently until they fail abruptly. Why minimalism weakens endurance. Minimalist systems reduce complexity. They streamline operations, eliminate excess, and focus resources. Minimalism is attractive in competitive environments. Minimalism reduces margin. Without margin, systems cannot absorb variation. Small disturbances propagate widely. Recovery becomes difficult. Endurance requires buffer. Endurance and time horizons. Endurance depends on time horizon. Systems optimized for short-term performance sacrifice long-term stability. They consume capacity faster than it can be replenished. They defer maintenance. Short horizons reward speed. Long horizons require restraint. Design determines which horizon dominates. The difference between resilience and toughness. Toughness resists force. Resilience absorbs and adapts. Tough systems rely on strength. Resilient systems rely on flexibility. Toughness can withstand impact once. Resilience recovers repeatedly. Endurance favors resilience. Design choices determine which quality is present. Endurance and the management of failure. Enduring systems expect failure. They design for error, not perfection. They assume components will break, information will be incomplete, and decisions will be imperfect. This assumption shapes structure. Failure becomes manageable rather than catastrophic. Systems that deny failure design for ideal conditions. They collapse under deviation. Why endurance requires boring design. Endurance is rarely exciting. It relies on consistency, maintenance, and discipline. It avoids dramatic expansion. It favors incremental improvement. These qualities lack spectacle. They produce longevity. Systems optimized for attention struggle to endure. Endurance and authority alignment. Authority must align with endurance goals. Decision makers must bear consequence over time. Short-term authority undermines long-term stability. Temporary power optimizes for immediate outcome. Enduring systems align authority with long-term exposure. This alignment discourages short-term exploitation. When this is ignored. When systems attempt to endure through will alone, they exhaust their participants. Burnout replaces resilience. Control replaces trust. Effort replaces alignment. The system survives briefly. Collapse follows. Endurance as constraint respect. Enduring systems respect constraint. They operate within capacity. They avoid configurations that exceed load tolerance. They refuse opportunities that compromise structure. This refusal is often criticized as conservatism. It is design discipline. Why endurance requires sacrifice? Endurance requires sacrifice. Not of values, but of optionality. Systems must forego certain paths to preserve coherence. They must choose what not to pursue. This selectivity limits expansion. It preserves stability. Endurance in learning cycles. Learning sustains endurance. Systems must integrate feedback, adapt structure, and revise assumptions continuously. Learning cycles require time, openness, and responsibility. Without learning, endurance becomes stagnation. Design determines learning capacity. The cost of overconfidence. Overconfidence undermines endurance. It reduces vigilance. It dismisses warning signals. It encourages risk accumulation. Confidence without humility accelerates failure. Enduring systems balance confidence with openness. Endurance and cultural memory. Cultural memory preserves design lessons. Systems that remember past failures design differently. They embed caution, redundancy, and restraint. Systems that forget repeat mistakes. Memory is a structural asset. Endurance without identity fixation. Enduring systems separate identity from configuration. They adapt structure without perceiving loss of self. They evolve without existential threat. Identity fixation prevents redesign. Endurance requires flexibility of self-concept. Why endurance appears slow? Endurance appears slow because it avoids acceleration. It prioritizes sustainability over speed. It resists momentum-driven expansion. This slowness is strategic. It preserves capacity. The design of renewal. Endurance includes renewal. Systems must periodically shed obsolete structures, retire outdated roles, and reconfigure relationships. Renewal prevents rigidity. Design must allow for replacement without collapse. Endurance as quiet strength. Endurance rarely draws attention. It lacks dramatic moments. It does not dominate narratives. It persists quietly. Its strength is revealed only in comparison. When others fail, enduring systems remain. Closing constitutional statement. Endurance is not achieved by force of will. It is achieved by structure that respects load, distributes responsibility, and adapts over time. Will can sustain effort briefly. Design sustains systems. Endurance is built, not wished into existence. End of chapter 19.